Team take profits on the move, the movement is real. 50 pips a day, watch the money drip. Pips pay my bills, pips pay my bills, pips pay my bills, pips pay my bills. Hey, what's up, y'all? This your boy Jay Wayne, representing Team Take Profits, and thank you for tuning in to my video. Hey guys, real quick, before we get started, I just want you guys to know I'm not on WhatsApp, okay? It's many of those fake people on Telegram acting like Team Take Profits, okay? Everything I do is ran through my website, which all my links are in the description below, okay? So if anybody is sending you messages and trying to sign you up to their VIP or to their signals and all of that, I'm not doing none of that, okay? I help my team, and if you want mentorship, click the links in the description, okay? All my Instagram links are in the description, so don't fall for none of these scammers. I'm not on WhatsApp. Somebody called my Google phone number and recorded my voice and trying to send it out to people. So don't fall for none of that, okay? Report all of those scammers. If you want to find me, click the links in my description section below. All right, so now that we got that out the way, I want to give a shout out to one of the subscribers on my last video. His name is Ben the Great 84. All right, shout out to you, notification gang. Salute for being the first person to comment on my video. All right, so shout out to Ben the Great 84. Hey, thank you for supporting and watching the videos, and then thank you for turning the notifications on so you can, be up to date with my newest content. All right, guys, so what you see here on the screen is me about to get into a trade on GBP odd, and I'm just gonna put it up here on the screen. Basically, where I entered in at is really just, I'm just putting it on the screen. It's not really the exact timing, but I'm trying to do something a little different and just kind of show you the charts and take you through my mind or my thought process when I was looking at this. So as you can see, this is the 4-hour chart, and we're in a big channel on GBP all. We're in a big channel, but look at my mouse. I'm dragging it across the screen. We basically holding at that support level. So I'm basically playing the buy on this support. You see price stopped here and reversed, and price wicked out here at a pivot on a 4-hour chart and reversed up. So I'm going to take the buy. Basically, that's what I'm thinking about, taking a buy from going up. So you can see where my entry is, and 81865 pretty much. And that's what you see on the chart, 81865 GBP all buy. So this was I think this was one of the trades I took last week that I actually recorded for you guys. And we've been talking about pivot points a lot lately because I want to drill it in. I want to drill it into your minds, the pivots. So as I do this voiceover for you guys and kind of explaining it, this one is a little tricky. I won't lie to you, because the chart that we're on now is, I believe it's the hour chart. No, this is like the 30-minute chart or something like that. And you can see the 50 moving average is in a buyer's market. So if you can recall, we were already pushing up in that channel. Let me go back for you. Right here. We were already pushing up from this channel. You got a rejection here, multiple rejections at this support zone right here. Right at this support zone, we got multiple rejections. So we already pushing up. So now when I go down to the lower time frames, to my entry time frames, like the 15-minute chart, I want to see if we're above the 50 moving average. That's going to give me the momentum to go up. Okay, so let's go back right here. Boom. And you can see it. So now I pretty much caught price above the 50. Price action. We was already holding at that support level in that channel on a 4-hour chart. Now when you go down, everything should line up with that. Everything should line up with that so you can have the momentum. And here's my entry, like I said. But here's the pivot though. So it's like, man, when do I take the entry? At what spot do I take the entry on this? And it's like this is a tricky spot, and it's like, what rules? It's like price action rules. Price action is king in this point. We already held on the higher time frames. If we're holding at a support level on the higher time frames, then I'm pretty much going for it. Because the higher time frames control the lower time frames, so I'm going for it. And as long as I'm above that 50, because we all know what happens when price is holding, around the 50 on top of it. We're in a buyer's market. So boom, it all makes sense. Now the pivot point, I see that price rejected, came under it, but it's not going below the 50 yet. It's not below the 50. So it's holding above the 50 still. And right here, you see, I'm pretty much pulling out the Fibonacci. And this is what made the difference for me. This is what gave me the confidence to hold the trade. When I pull it from the low to the high point, and I saw that golden zone right there. From the low, I pulled the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. I just drew it out, going up, and then I saw the golden zone. And pretty much I'm zooming in for you here so you can see it. This is my entry. Don't forget, the yellow line is my entry right here. And price is rejecting at the golden zone above the 50 moving average. So that's price action. Fibonacci is price action, all right? The 50 moving average is not price action, but price holding and finding structure on that golden zone, that's price action, all right? So I had the confidence to take that. So now you see on the screen is I drew out the Fibonacci extension. So what you want to do is you want to go from low. Remember I drew that Fibonacci from the low to the high. You want to do the same thing with the Fibonacci extension. All right. You want to drag from low to high and bring the next point back down to the low. So that's why you got these white dotted lines. So from the low to the high and back down to the low. And that's where you get your extension numbers at. And for me, I trade to the 100%. My TP1 is at the 100% level. And then if you want to go up, you can go up, but you just got to have patience because it's just not going to just shoot up there for you. All right. So as you can see now, prices broke the pivot point. And this is where you just have to have experience, because I think a lot of you wouldn't have took this trade because you saw that pivot there. But the higher time frames, that's why I say do top-down analysis. When you looked at that channel and you saw the wick, price bounced from the pivot on that 4-hour chart. Let's go back to it again real quick. Right here, price bounced and rejected at a pivot point on this 4-hour chart. So that 4-hour rejection of the pivot is way more important than this 15-minute rejection. And plus, we're still in a buyer's market even on this lower time frame. So are you kind of seeing my thought process on that? So I took it, and hey, if it went against me, that would have been okay because I had a tight stop loss, a tight stop loss. If price would have rejected and closed below the 50 moving average, I would have closed the trade out and reassessed. I probably, would have went back to the higher time frame and reassessed what was going on. So we'll continue to play this out for you. So you can see here, I put my stop loss underneath the 50 moving average. And, price, it basically retested right off of the pivot point. You can see that candle kind of came back. It was red. It's basically retesting at the pivot point. So all of this is just giving me confidence to hold the trade. And I'm trying to hold it up until the 100% level. That's the fib extension. Because if you get a bounce off the golden zone, as I showed you earlier, price was coming back. I may talk about that a little bit more. If you get a rejection at the golden zone, you pretty much good to take profit at the 100% level of the fib extension. That's TP1, But let me also tell you, if you get a rejection, like how we got a rejection at this pivot point right here, if you get a rejection here, it's pretty much nothing going to stop you from price reaching the next pivot point. And you can see the little white line right over here. See that little white line? 85% of the time, I can't say 100%, but 85% of the time, if you get a rejection from one pivot, it's nothing stopping you from getting to the next pivot. You got to understand, something in the market is creating these pivots. There is structure creating these pivot points. So the market comes up, dip down, make a pivot, the indicator pops up. So you got to understand, use logic with that. It's something in the market to where it's nothing in between. It's basically nothing in between the pivot and the other pivot up here to stop the market from getting there. That's all I'm trying to say. So that gave me confidence. And plus the 100% level was there. So that's confluence is what I'm saying. So right here, I noticed that I put the stop loss on the chart, but I didn't put the stop loss on my actual trade. So that's what you see right here. I'm putting in the actual stop loss. The fib extension, the 100% level of the fib extension is pretty much right at that pivot point, right over here. So I had confidence to hold that thing, man. And this was a good trade. It's pretty much, it was just a 1-to-1. And when you're day trading, or, pretty much when you're scalping, pretty much you're just going to get a 1-to-1 trade. You're not going to get a 2-to-1 or, a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You're pretty much not going to get that when you're scalping. You're pretty much going to get a 1-to-1. And this was a great scalp opportunity. The risk to reward ratio was on my side in this situation. So you can see it wicking out. It pretty much came to the 100% level and wicked out. I do believe it's going to get there again. But I just want you guys to take home from this video that don't just do the pivot points and think you're good. Combine it with the price action. You see how I marked up that channel on a 4-hour chart? Mark up that stuff, understand what's happening, and then drop down. And if the lower time frames are still adding up with what you saw on the higher time frame, then boom, you're on the right side of the market. And so here I'm about to close out the trade, take the profit because I'm pretty much satisfied on this scalp. 2,500, and there we go. Pretty much 210,000 as of this video, and solidify them profits, man. I just been on a journey to help you guys understand the pivot points, and I think I drilled it in your guys' minds. I really did. I really do think I drilled it in your minds how the pivot points work and how I think about it. So if you like this video, please give this video a like, share the video. If you think it may encourage somebody, comment below, all right, so I can shout you guys out. I appreciate it. All right, and if you haven't saw my pivot point strategy where I just give you my rules, I give you everything you need to be successful in that strategy, then click the video right over there. It's going to definitely help you, okay? Click that video. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. And let's make this money, baby. Peace.